Hello, everybody. I'm Don Counts. Welcome into our monthly update with our CEO, and we find out what's going on around Fayetteville Public Utilities with our CEO, General Manager Britt Dye. Hello, Britt.
Morning, Don.
Today is we're heading in our last week of October, breast cancer awareness. Our guys are wearing our pink hard hats. Our ladies are in their pink coats, and we have the lapel pins. And so I know that's important to you.
It's very important. Very important for us to give back to the community, for breast cancer and support those that's, going through those phases, and we're just here to help.
Absolutely. And we do that each month of October, and then we've got a lot of good news, got a lot of stuff we want to talk about today. One thing starts right off the bat is we were awarded the grant for the expansion of the internet. You might talk a little bit about how that came about, because first of all, we didn't get it, but think you kept being persistent, and it came through.
Well, it finally did, and it helps when some of the other areas had already been funded to some degree, and that helped us out some. And the areas that we need to build, to the east and northeast and south somewhat, the areas that we are building with a little over $8 million. And but we just got to be sure that everybody understands that if somebody else serves that area or is in that area to serve off of the grant funds, we cannot build in that area to serve you as a customer.
Yeah,
with the grant funds.
Well, the grant is going to provide, as Britt said, just over $8,899,590 to be exact for Kim, to make sure we get that exact number in there. But anyway, the thing is about that is maybe you can tell the public what areas that is. I mean, people ask me, and I'm going, I'm really not sure, but I'm sure you know how the map lays out.
Well, some of it's going to be up toward Flintville, Mimosa area, down south toward a little bit in Vantown, then you're going up toward the Huntland side going east, and that. But as I said, but just because we're in there doesn't mean that we can serve you with the grant money, because you have our competitors, you have Monster Broadband, you have Spectrum Charter, you have MediaCom, and others that's available in that area. So, we're just really competing to some degree, but again, the grant money only allows you to build where there is unserved or underserved areas.
So if you don't have Charter or MediaCom, basically we'll be able to serve you pretty much.
Yeah, if they're not in that area, that's correct.
Right. That's right. Now, one of the main things is when you're talking about a grant this size, 380 miles is huge compared to what we've done so far. So this is bound to be a pretty big build.
It is a big build, and we got folks riding out now to see what the design's going to be, and so we'll be sure that we got the proper equipment to provide service.
So that's good news for FPU and for Lincoln County in general about this broadband grant of almost $8.9 million, and so we're excited about that. That's going to be a lot of moving and shaking going on in the fiber business in the next. How long will this take to get this built?
3 to 4 years.
3 to 4 years. All right. Well, let's move on and talk a little bit about the Community Care Fund. You might explain to the public what that is. It's between us and TVA.
Well, we partner with TVA, and they came back with the pandemic funds to help do that, and we're giving a credit back to the customers. And this will be the third year, which 2 years, they thought after 2 years they was going to reduce it. But, we all had meetings and everything, and so TVA was generous enough to go back and do the 2.5% again, and that'll help the customers out a little bit on the energy bill, and so we was able to provide that again this coming year.
Absolutely. That is TVA Board of Directors approved to extend a 2.5% pandemic relief credit, which will remain in effect until September of next year. So in other words, all of our customers will be seeing this relief.
That is correct. We have some utilities like we put in the local paper that some keep it, some give pieces of it, but right. The FPU for the last 3 years has given all of it back to our customers.
Well, that's going to be a good thing for all of our customers, and altogether, FPU's returned over $1,424,331.03 to the customers, and that's helped all of Lincoln County.
That is correct.
Yeah. All right, so let's go back to the Community Care Fund. Now, this is where we have Hands of Mercy awarding them. It was in the paper this week, $20,000. That's also in conjunction with TVA. Explain that.
That it is. The board decides if TVA gives $10,000 to Hands of Mercy, that's who we ask to give the funds to help them out. And if the board agrees to match that portion, we end up, the board did agree to do that again this year. So it ends up being a total of $20,000 that we're able to help out with the Hands of Mercy.
And another thing we're doing with our Community Service Day, I think I'm saying that right, ladies, where we're going to Hands of Mercy and help them out on a food drive. I think that's on November 4th.
It is on November the 4th, and that's where we'll be putting food together and hand them out to those that need assistance in that area as well. And we'll be down there doing that. We've done that for the last couple of years, I think, now, and we're glad to do that.
Makes you feel good when you go out there and actually literally help people and see the help going on. A lot of times we can throw a few dollars in the bucket, or we can do this, that, and the other. But when you go out there and do what we do, that makes you feel good about working here for sure.
Yeah, it does. And working with Miss Hudson down there, that's a good 4 hours, and you're going 4 hours.
Yeah.
So it's taking everybody to get it done.
That's for sure. It's a little more work than what we normally do, or physical labor. Let's go with that. But it still makes you feel really, really good. Let's talk about something that we sent letters out to some of our businesses and industry about our extended lead times and prices. This is a real serious problem across the nation, and let's talk a little bit about how that affects Fayetteville Public Utilities.
Well, it affects on time of services, and right now we were way ahead of the game at one time of being stocked with additional material and supplies. But as it goes on, we try to keep stocking as soon as we get close to anything running out. But now it's getting to where everybody's starting to do the same thing that we did back 2.5 years ago, I guess. But it's catching up, and it's not getting any better on lead times, especially, and the cost keeps climbing every day, and it's getting really, really expensive for items that it takes to build a house, or like a transformers, or if it's underground cable, meter bases, water pipe, those kinds of things, and it's getting harder to find each day.
Yeah. One thing about that is most people might not realize we have to have an inventory for and be thinking about the future, but also think about, maybe like this afternoon they're talking about bad storms coming in. We've got to be prepared for something that could go wrong.
Well, that's correct as well. And we try to do that too. And, we have lots of material in stock, but at the same time, right now there's a lot of people building houses and those kinds of things, that takes additional material, whether it be water, gas, or on the telecom side along with electric, and we're trying to supply all of that. But you can't just go out and set a transformer today to serve a temporary service or anything like that, like what we used to do in the past. So some of the contractors with new homes have to depend on generators and other means of services to help them get along. But because we got people that's ready to move in, and we got to be able to provide them the services that they need.
I've been in meetings with you before where people have talked about, I'm going to say transformers. Some of them take a year to get in here after you order it.
Yeah, based on the sizes, it does do that. And, we found some more that we're fixing to look at purchasing maybe. And we're doing some swapping with some other utilities if we need some certain sizes that you can't get, and they might have one. And that's getting harder and harder to come by as well, because you used to be able to call up another utility and say, hey, I need a 50 kVA transformer. You got one. Well, what we have, we're not going to let anybody else have. So,
right.
It's getting like that because everybody's in need.
Yeah, you've got to have a backup, and I know those are expensive to just be sitting on the shelf in case something goes wrong, but you pretty much got to have it.
You got to have it.
Let's talk about Free Fall Light Up. That's going on for another week through the 31st, where we've had a couple of cold snaps, a couple of cold mornings in the last few weeks, and so if you ain't got your light lit by now, you probably need to get it lit.
Well, that's true. And the weather, last couple of days has been really, really nice.
Yeah.
And like I said, we got some weather moving in this afternoon, but it's really dry. We need some rain. I'll need to pray for rain because the grass is dying, and I know that makes some happy without having to mow it. But, we really need that rain.
So free fall light up is Monday through Friday from 8 until 3:30, and you can request free fall light up by calling in to the office 433-1522. But one thing too, after you meet that, we still light the pilot for $30 service fee, and then $50 after hours. That's cheap too, Britt.
Yes, it is.
You making no money on that?
No, we're not making. We're not in the business to make money. We just want to try to recoup our costs. So
yeah, you're barely making it with that. So anyway, so that's good. We're doing a lot for the customer, and when it comes to gas, lighting pilots, a lot of people just don't do that. So you got another week to get that done if you need to get that done. One thing that we have a lot here, and I'm kind of impressed with all the different payment options we have. That makes you proud that people shouldn't have any. There's all kind of ways you can pay.
Yeah, several different ways you can pay, and you might comment on that more than I can. But I know we got the Smart Hub, you got the bank draft, you have.
Oh yeah, so we got. Yeah. You can pay by mail. You can pay in person. We have people here all the time ready to do that. But one thing is we have the Secure Pay at 1-844-201-7200. That's a way. And Smart Hub. We really are proud of Smart Hub. That's seemed like the future for young people here. That and even us. I think it's a really neat thing to be able to look at your usage basically pretty much almost live with maybe a day delay.
Yeah, and I know next couple of weeks we're looking at some more options of how we can improve those things as well. Wow. So, we'll be making some more changes with new technology that's coming out with our with the billing system that we use. So, we could be going in some more different directions. But, always remember that the mail don't run like what it used to either. So, we have to be very careful how we take those payments and how they're stamped and all that. So be sure if you mail in a payment that that it gets here. Like I said, it doesn't run like what it used to.
That's right. That's very, very true. So anyway, a lot of new technology with the Smart Hub, and the future of that is just really, really good. One thing that we do here is Harvest of Hope. In fact, Britt, we've already had some people bringing food in before it starts, but I guess we might as well say if you want to bring some food in, we're already ready. We got the warehouse guys already prepared to bring the food in, and the food goes to Good Samaritan, and I think they're ready for it.
Absolutely, and that's one thing that the community does well. They pull together to help the entire community out, especially those in need. And they start early, but, they'll still be bringing it after it ends. So we'll take anything you have that we can support the Good Samaritan and pass it on.
Well, we got surprised by somebody who already brought it in, and I had to call Chris and Jim to come get it because I didn't know. But we are going to go ahead and get that stuff out next week for sure. And so you can bring it in, any non-perishable food items. You can bring them into the lobby here, and we'll be glad to get that over to Good Sam. We actually do that, Britt, I know you know, but we do that with we give the opportunity for our student utility board to be involved in that a little bit, and makes them feel good to see that we're helping people in need.
Yes, and the student utility board that we started several years ago, that the article went out in what we call the TVPPA magazine, which is the Tennessee Valley Public Power Association, and it goes to better than 153 utilities out there, counting with TVA, and they really like what we're doing with the student utility board. We made a lot of progress with the student utility board, and I would think that there would be some other utilities that would be getting ready to start that same program up.
I think we've been doing it. This will be our 12th year, I think. I'm guessing, but it's at least over 10 for sure. And we've actually been able to bring some of those people on to work here, which makes you proud too.
Well, we're always looking for good employees. We don't have a lot of turnover, but at the same time, you get to that group where you have folks retiring and those kinds of things, and it's not a job that you learn overnight. It takes several years to gain the knowledge of what you need to do your job, and we're always looking for good folks to go to work that's got the initiative and those kinds of things to go to work here, and it's a good career.
A lot of young people don't realize that the longer you stay on the job, the better you get at it, the more wisdom you have about the job. And so we're lucky that we've had a lot of guys, like you say, or not guys, girls, everybody who's getting ready to retire, but getting people on, getting them to stay on and stay with us, this is a good opportunity for a long-term job.
That it is.
All right, so let's talk about assistance with heating costs. We seemed like it was just yesterday we were sitting here talking about how hot it was, and then we knew how difficult it was going to be on bills to keep air conditioning, but we're going to be in the same boat when it turns around to heat. People's going to, it's going to be more expensive to heat your home.
Well, it's coming around the corner. It's time changes here in a couple of weeks and gets dark earlier, so be prepared for that too. And the colder it gets, and they're saying that we're going to have a real cold winter this year, and so just be prepared.
Well, you can sign up for budget billing. That's one way that you can do it. Also, we also help with Good Samaritan with the Project Help, and then we also have LIHEAP, and that's Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. You can sign up through that over at South Central Human Resources, and their number is 433-7182. So, Britt, we had a lot to talk about today, and we'll have a lot more to talk about in the months to come, but we're going to be closed on Thanksgiving, Thursday and Friday, November 24th and 25th. For holidays. That moves a lot of things around during this time of month. I know the board meetings change, and then it won't be long till it'll be Christmas parade and everything else coming down the pike.
Yeah, you have Christmas parade. Decorations has got to go up. You got the host coming up.
Yeah.
As well. So, we play a big part in a lot of those things, and might be a great day to come out and celebrate, I guess you can say, for the host and those.
Right.
But I also want to say we're glad to have you back. Even with Nikki and Maggie here, they did a great job while you were out.
Right.
But we're glad you got your health on good track now.
Thank you.
Glad to have you back.
Appreciate that. All right. Well, we appreciate what you do, and we're looking forward to the next few months. And we appreciate you watching here on here at the FPU, and we will see you back in here next month.